had to change my presentation around a little bit because I'm kind of sick. I was originally going to be singing a song that I'm in the process of writing, but like I said, I'm sick and wasn't able to complete that. So there was a pretty famous essay written by Mary Schmitz, I believe I said her name right, called Words Like Youth is Wasted on the Young, Probably Wasted on the Young. It was turned into a song by Baz Luhrmann several years later. Most of you probably know it. It starts out with ladies and gentlemen of the class of '99. I kind of borrowed some of that and rearranged it to put my strategies and inspirations to a similar essay. So, ladies and gentlemen of my psych class from S&C, wear sunscreen. If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. The long-term benefits of sunscreen have been proved by scientists, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis more reliable than my own meandering experience. I will dispense this advice now. Enjoy the simplicity and easiness of your grad classes. Oh, never mind. You will not understand how easy they were until you're teaching. But trust me, in 20 years, you'll look back at photos of yourself and recall in a way you can't grasp now how easy it was to get your certificate and master's. Get students involved. It is essential to the learning process. You will find students who are not interested. Find a way to get them interested again. Use a zero noise signal. It is a great way to get your class back under control and get the students engaged in listening. Don't worry about the future. Or worry, but know that worrying is as effective as trying to solve an algebra equation by chewing bubblegum. The real troubles in your life are apt to be things that never crossed your worried mind, the kind that blindside you at 4 p.m. on some idle Tuesday. Do one thing every day that scares you. Don't give up on the difficult students. Sometimes they are the best students you have. Use mnemonics to help students memorize and learn certain concepts. Those mnemonics may stick with them the rest of their lives. Get to know your students. You never know how they might help you grow and change. Be open to the concept of learning from your students. Sometimes they are the only people willing to teach you what you need to know. Don't waste your time on jealousy. Sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind. The race is long, and in the end, it's only with yourself. Use strategies like the tabula rasa t-shirt and data gathering sheets or post-it notes to get your students involved and to get them to know each other and build camaraderie. Don't fight with your students. Even if you win the argument, you still look foolish and undermine your own rules and ability to control the classroom. Remember compliments you receive. Forget the insults. If you succeed in doing this, tell me how. Use your brain gym books. Kids need to move around to keep their focus. Use predictions to help your students use critical thinking skills, as well as giving them the sense that they are helping to control the actions of the class. Perception is more important than reality. If you try to force reality, students will cling harder to their perceptions. Rather, work within student perceptions to help shape them to reality. Don't feel guilty if this isn't what you want to do with your life. Some of the most interesting teachers I had didn't know what they wanted to do with their lives. Some of the teachers I work with now still don't. Maybe you will teach public school, maybe private. Maybe you will teach 30 kids each year, maybe only 10. Whatever you do, don't congratulate yourself too much, or berate yourself either. Your choices are half chance. So are everybody else's. The only way to keep kids from dropping out is to have rigor, create relevance, and build relationships. These things are more important than any lesson you can teach. Get students to talk to each other. It helps them build relationships with each other and rely on their own thoughts rather than having to decipher yours. Don't call on the same children over and over. Use popsicle sticks or have the kids call on each other. That's the only way to get them all involved. Use a wagon wheel to get the kids to work with other kids whom they might not normally work with. Build community. Give your students the same respect that you request of them, and remember that respect is hard-earned and easily lost. Call all your students ladies and gentlemen and give them an example to follow. They are not as dumb as so many people think. Above everything else, love this. If you teach 1 year or 100, love to teach. Teaching is a form of nostalgia. Dispensing it is a way of fishing the past from the disposal, wiping it off, painting over the ugly parts, and recycling it for more than it's worth. But trust me on the sun strength.